What if some of the advice you have followed for years about exercise after 60 is not helping you at all? And may even be holding you back without you realizing it. This is not about blaming anyone or saying everything you have learned is wrong. It is about taking a closer look at what truly supports your body at this stage of life. Many people are told that getting older means slowing down, being more careful, and avoiding too much physical effort. Over time, this idea becomes a quiet belief that movement should be limited. At the same time, there is another message that says staying strong requires intense workouts, heavy weights, or long sessions that feel overwhelming or even unsafe. When you hear both of these messages, it is easy to feel stuck between doing too little and doing too much. But here is something worth considering. Doing nothing, or repeating the wrong kind of movement, can gradually lead to a loss of strength, balance, and confidence. This does not happen all at once. It happens slowly, often without clear warning, until simple activities begin to feel more difficult than they used to. The good news is that your body is still capable of adapting and improving when it is given the right kind of support. This is not about pushing harder. It is about moving with intention and understanding what your body actually needs. In this video, we are going to explore a smarter and more practical way to think about exercise after 60. One that helps you stay strong, stable, and confident in your everyday life. As we continue from that idea, it becomes important to understand what is actually happening inside the body over time. One of the most significant changes is something called muscle loss, which can begin earlier than many people expect. This process does not suddenly appear in old age. It often starts gradually in the 50s and continues if it is not addressed in the right way. Now here is where many people are unintentionally misled. It is easy to assume that doing a little movement here and there is enough, or that staying generally active will protect strength. But the body does not respond to movement in a general way. It responds to specific patterns. If those patterns do not challenge strength, balance, and coordination, the body slowly adapts by becoming less capable in those areas. At the same time, completely avoiding movement or relying on routines that do not match the body needs can speed up this decline. Over time, this may show up as reduced stability, slower reactions, and less confidence during everyday activities. These changes are often subtle at first, but they can have a meaningful impact on independence and overall quality of life. This is not meant to create worry, but to bring awareness, because once you understand that these changes are influenced by how you move each day, something important shifts. You are no longer just observing the effects of aging. You are actively shaping how your body responds to it. And that means there is real opportunity to maintain strength, improve control, and support your body in a more effective and informed way moving forward. And this is where the conversation begins to shift in a more hopeful direction. Because despite everything we just discussed, there is something very important that often gets overlooked. Your body does not lose its ability to adapt just because you are getting older. That ability is still there. It may work a little more slowly, and it may require more intention, but it does not disappear. The human body is always responding to what you ask of it. If movement becomes limited, the body adjusts by conserving energy, which can lead to reduced strength, balance, and coordination over time. But the opposite is also true. When you introduce the right kind of movement, even simple and controlled exercises, the body begins to respond in a positive way. Muscles can become more active, joints can move more freely, and coordination can improve with practice. This is not about dramatic transformation or unrealistic expectations. It is about steady and meaningful progress. Small actions done consistently can lead to noticeable improvements in how your body feels and functions in everyday life. Standing up, walking, reaching, and turning can all become smoother and more controlled. What matters most is understanding that your body is not fixed in a state of decline. It is responsive. It listens to what you do each day. And when you begin to give it the right signals through intentional movement, you create an opportunity for improvement that many people do not realize is still available to them. And once you begin to understand that your body can still adapt, the next step becomes even more important. It is not about doing more. It is about doing what actually works. Because one of the most common misunderstandings about exercise is the belief that harder always means better. Many people think they need to push themselves with intense workouts or long sessions to see results. But at this stage of life, That approach can feel overwhelming, and in some cases, it may place unnecessary stress on the joints and muscles. More importantly, intensity alone does not guarantee improvement. If the movement does not match what the body truly needs, the effort may not lead to meaningful progress. This is where intentional movement makes the difference. Instead of focusing on how much or how fast, the focus shifts to how well you move. Simple actions like standing up, bending forward, or maintaining balance are part of daily life. When these movements are practiced with control and awareness, they begin to retrain the body in a very practical way. Slowing down allows you to feel which muscles are working and how your body is positioned. This builds coordination and stability over time. It also reduces the risk of strain because each movement is done with care rather than force. In the end, quality becomes more valuable than quantity. When movement is intentional, even the simplest exercises can support strength, improve balance, and create a routine that feels sustainable and supportive for the long term. And when you begin to shift your focus toward intentional movement, something else becomes clear. You do not need a complicated routine to make real progress. In fact, some of the most effective exercises are often the simplest ones. In this next part, we introduce a small group of movements that are designed with a clear purpose. Each one has been selected not because it looks impressive, but because it supports the way your body functions in everyday life. These exercises focus on key areas such as stability, balance, and coordinated strength. They help reinforce the movements you rely on daily, like standing up, reaching, bending, and maintaining control as you move. At first glance, these exercises may seem basic. You might even wonder how something so simple could make a difference. But that is exactly the point. When a movement is simple, it allows you to focus on doing it well. You can pay attention to your posture, your breathing, and how your muscles are working together. That is where the real benefit comes from. This approach also removes a common barrier. Many people feel unsure or hesitant when faced with complex routines or unfamiliar equipment. By keeping things simple and practical, these exercises become more accessible. You can start at your own pace, build confidence step by step, and create a routine that feels manageable. Over time, these small, consistent efforts begin to add up. What starts as a simple movement can become a strong foundation for better balance, improved strength, and greater ease in everyday activities. And as we begin to look more closely at these simple movements, it makes sense to start with one area of the body that quietly supports almost everything you do. That is your core. This is not just about the muscles you see. It includes the deeper muscles around your abdomen, lower back, and hips that work together to keep your body stable and supported. One of the most effective ways to activate this area is through a movement known as the plank. It may look simple, but it plays a powerful role in helping your body feel more steady and controlled. When your core is engaged properly, everyday actions like standing up from a chair, walking across a room, or reaching for something become more stable and coordinated. To begin, you can start in a comfortable position on the floor. Place your forearms under your shoulders and gently lift your body so that it forms a straight line from your head down to your legs. It is important to move slowly into this position and focus on maintaining alignment. Your body should feel supported, not strained. Breathe naturally and hold the position for a short amount of time that feels manageable. There are also simple adjustments you can make if needed. For example, placing your knees on the ground can provide extra support while still allowing you to activate the right muscles. What matters most is not how long you hold the position, but how well you maintain control. Over time, as your core becomes stronger, you may begin to notice that your movements feel smoother and more stable. This is how a simple exercise can create meaningful change in the way your body functions each day. As your core begins to feel more stable, the next step is to look at how your body moves during everyday actions. One of the most important patterns to understand is how you bend. This may seem like a small detail, but it has a significant impact on how your body feels over time. Many people develop the habit of bending from the lower back instead of using their hips. This often happens without awareness and can place unnecessary stress on the spine. Over time, this pattern may lead to stiffness, discomfort, or a feeling of weakness when performing simple tasks like picking something up or leaning forward. This is where the hip hinge becomes a valuable movement to learn. Instead of bending forward from the waist, the focus shifts to moving the hips backward while keeping the upper body aligned. You can think of it as gently sending your hips back while your chest stays lifted. This allows the stronger muscles in your hips and legs to take on the work, rather than placing strain on your lower back. Practicing this movement slowly helps your body relearn a more efficient way to move. It may feel unfamiliar at first, and that is completely normal. What matters is taking your time and paying attention to how your body responds. As this pattern becomes more natural, everyday activities can start to feel safer and more controlled. This is an important reminder that exercise is not only about building strength. It is also about improving the way your body moves so that each action feels more stable, supported, and confident. As your movement patterns begin to feel more natural and controlled, the next step is to build strength in a way that supports your body without placing unnecessary strain on it. This is where simple, supported exercises can make a meaningful difference. You do not need to force your body into difficult positions or push through discomfort to become stronger. Movements like wall push-ups and a gentle standing stance with bent knees offer a practical way to develop strength while staying safe. These exercises allow you to use your own body weight in a controlled manner, reducing pressure on the joints while still activating important muscle groups. The upper body, legs, and core all work together during these movements, which is exactly how your body functions in daily life. For example, when you press your hands against a wall and slowly move your body forward and back, you are training the same muscles you use when pushing open a door or steadying yourself. When you hold a stable standing position with your knees slightly bent, you are strengthening the muscles that help you stay balanced and supported when you stand, walk, or change direction. What makes these exercises effective is not their difficulty, but their relevance. They reflect real-life actions, which makes the strength you build more useful and practical. Over time, this approach helps your body feel more capable during everyday tasks. It also reinforces the idea that exercise is not separate from your life. It is a tool that supports how you move, how you feel, and how confidently you carry yourself each day. As you continue building strength in a safe and controlled way, the next step is to bring everything together into movements that directly support your everyday life. This is where functional training becomes especially valuable. Instead of focusing on isolated muscles, it trains your body to work as a connected system, just as it does when you stand, walk, or lift something. One of the most important movements in this category is the hip hinge with a light weight. This exercise builds on the pattern you have already practiced, but now adds a gentle level of resistance. By holding a small weight in front of your body and guiding it down as your hips move back, you begin to strengthen the muscles that support your posture and stability. These include the hips, the back of the legs, and the muscles that help keep your spine aligned. The key here is not how heavy the weight is. It is how well you control the movement. Moving slowly allows you to stay aware of your posture and maintain proper alignment from start to finish. This helps reinforce the correct pattern while also building strength. What makes this exercise so effective is how closely it reflects real-life actions. Every time you pick something up, stand from a seated position, or carry an object, your body relies on this same pattern. By practicing it in a controlled way, you prepare your body to handle these tasks more safely and efficiently. Over time, this combination of strength and coordination can help you feel more capable, more stable, and more confident in your daily movements. And as everything comes together, one message becomes very clear. Real progress does not come from pushing harder for a short period of time. It comes from showing up consistently and moving in a way that supports your body over the long term. What you have seen in these movements is not a quick fix or a temporary routine. It is a simple and sustainable approach that can fit into your daily life. You do not need to do everything at once. A few sessions each week, moving at a comfortable pace, can be enough to create meaningful change. The goal is not to feel exhausted. The goal is to feel engaged, supported, and gradually stronger over time. Small improvements in balance, coordination, and control can build into something much greater when they are practiced regularly. It is also important to listen to your body along the way. Everyone moves differently, and your starting point is unique to you. If something feels uncomfortable or unfamiliar, it is okay to slow down, adjust, or seek guidance from a qualified professional. Safe progress is always more valuable than fast progress. Most importantly, remember that getting older does not mean giving up your strength or independence. It simply means your body responds better to thoughtful and intentional movement. When you build consistent habits and focus on quality over intensity, you create a foundation that supports your daily life. You are not trying to become someone else. You are supporting the body you have so it can continue to move with confidence, stability, and purpose in the years ahead.